Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Pokemon Blue version. Today we take on the Saffron City Gym. Starting on. Yo! Champ in the making. Sabrina's Pokemon use Psychic power instead of Force. Fighting Pokemon are weak against Psychic Pokemon. They get creamed before they can even aim a punch. So this is slightly an explanation of why the dojo next door is not the official gym of Saffron City, because Sabrina and her psychic types are able to defeat them. So the gimmick of this gym is warp tiles. So we will be warping around different rooms, fighting all the trainers. And I will be leveling up the team as we kind of go along, fighting each trainer. So Sabrina is young, but she's also our leader. You won't reach her easily. So Sabrina is once again a gym leader that in the manga worked for Team Rocket. She's not the last gym leader that works for Team Rocket. The next one... Well, the next two are kind of weird when it comes to it. But as we battle them, we will talk more about it. Okay, so as we kind of got from the guy up front, Sabrina's gym is a psychic type gym. This would kind of makes it one of the tougher gyms in the region because of how powerful this psychic type is. Due to the lack of weaknesses in this version of the game, they kind of have a massive advantage, and depending on how you build your team, maybe you're not so great against special attackers, and that can really set you up for a harder time. And then of course, with a lot of psychic type attacks comes the confusion status, which can create a lot of problems due to you hitting yourself in confusion instead of hitting your opponent. Right, a slow bro. Yeah, we probably should switch out Kaiser. Let's send out Heresy. So Slowbro, the evolved form of Slowpoke, is a water psychic type. Let's set up Spore. Put it to sleep. Let's pop up a Sword Stance real quick. And now let's hit it with a Leech Life. This should actually do, I imagine, a good amount of damage. About half. So even if it wakes up, yeah, no, we're fine. Another Leech Life. So, kind of due to the special attack, special defense split not happening right now, you do have to watch out for these Pokemon with a high special stat, which means they both can deal high special attack damage, but they can also, at the same time, take pretty good hits from special attacks. So, Sabrina's gym trainers are a lot of psychics and channelers. And we see that, hey, here's a ghost. So, they don't, once again, kind of all use exactly psychic type Pokemon, but they're kind of like more special, more of the kind of like mystical forces instead of physical. Next is Ghastly. We'll keep out Gimbu. Do another dig. Avoid a lick, but knock out with dig. Alright, Haunter. Gimbu should easily take this out. basically repeat of last turn. Use dig, avoid a lick, then knock it out. Alright. I lost after all. Now, I don't necessarily know the exact path to get through here. So, I kind of like always take the bottom left and I just kind of walk through. Since I wanted to fight all the trainers right now, it's not a big deal. But after we get through all the trainers, I will show off like the quickest way to Sabrina. That way, if you just want to go straight to Herbert Battle, you can kind of skip all these trainers. So, one kind of funny thing is, at the start of the gym, the guy mentioned, you know, fighting types get clobbered by these psychic types and all that. But his advice is kind of like mixed. Yes, fighting types have a disadvantage against them, but a lot of these psychic types and all that don't have necessarily the best physical defense. So it can actually be useful to use physical attacks on them. So maybe don't use necessarily fighting types, but physical attackers can be good. Just try to watch out for your special defense or your special stat to make sure you can tank some of these hits. Oh, that's an interesting move, Dream Eater. So Dream Eater only works on a Pokemon that's asleep, and it is a healing move. It's actually one of the best like attacking healing moves, but it's due to that stipulation of the opposing Pokemon needs to be asleep. Saffron Pokemon Gym is famous for its psychics. You want to see Sabrina? I can tell. No. It's like I'm in the gym wanting to fight the gym leader, but you were able to figure out because of your psychic powers. I want to fight the gym leader. Amazing. Alright. So Gimbu, you're not the best for this. Let's try a bite, see how this does. Yeah, not much. So we probably want to switch out. Granted. Gimbu was not too bad. Oh, raised its defense, luckily. Isis here is not a physical attacker. Strike it with Thunderbolt. Do super effective, but this headbutt can possibly do a good amount. Alright. Did 59 damage. Would be a lot on some of our other Pokemon, but on Isis, it is not that big of a problem. And Gimbu goes to level 42. And is trying to learn Skull Bash. So Skull Bash is a 2-turn physical move. It's a normal type. It doesn't have the defense buff like in later games. And it's not that great. I mean, it's better than Bite. But I think if we taught Gimbu strength, that would overall be better, so we'll skip Skull Bash. If it had the defense raising part of it, then we probably teach it. But since it doesn't, and here's Sabrina. Alright, so we don't want to battle her right now. So I'm going to kind of go back to the start. I'm going to heal up. And then I will showcase the quickest way to get to her. So I will see you in just a second. Alright, we are back. And we're about to head to face Sabrina. So before we get going, I'm going to actually teach Gimbu Double Edge. So, Double Edge is a 100 base power move, but it does have a recoil of 1/4. I just overall kind of felt like, let's change things up. Let's not give him strength, even though it might be kind of better overall, but give him still a good physical type move alongside Dig to attack opponents. So we're getting rid of Bite and learning Double Edge. Okay, so the quickest way to get to Sabrina is we're going to first take this warp panel. We're going to come over and take this upper left one. We come to this room, which I originally did not fight this trainer. I fought him in between. Nothing too big, but we can come now down here to this bottom left one. And then to face Sabrina, just walk straight down. And now we are at Sabrina. So if you just want to take her on and try to avoid some of the battles, that's how you can do it. Alright. Time for the gym battle. I had a vision of your arrival. I've had psychic power since I was a child. I first learned to bend spoons with my mind. I dislike fighting, but if you wish, I will show you my powers. Sabrina. Alright, so in red and blue version, she has 4 Pokemon, starting off with her level 38 Kadabra. But in yellow version, she instead starts off with a level 50 Abra. It doesn't know, the Abra only knows teleport, so you don't really have to worry, but Kadabra, on the other hand, is a little bit tougher of a fight. But with its physically being frail, a strength took it out, and Kaiser grows to level 41. Next, she sends out Mr. Mime. We'll keep Kaiser in for right now. In yellow version, her second Pokemon will be a level 50 Kadabra. So, way bigger of a threat. But once again, taking advantage of it being physically weak. If you can hit it with a good physical attack, it should do a fair amount of damage on it. Okay, next she sends out Venomoth, and as I mentioned, she only has 3 Pokemon in yellow version. I'm going to talk about her final Pokemon when we get to her final Pokemon here. But as you already kind of can tell, her levels are a lot different in red and blue versus yellow. And her final Pokemon in all the games is Alakazam. Yes, I'll like to switch. Let's bring in Gachapon. So Alakazam is 43 here, level 50 in yellow version. So you definitely need to be careful. Alakazam is known for its special stat, but it's also fairly quick. So let's try to knock it out in one hit. Let's go for self-destruct. Gachapon explodes, hitting hard, cutting Alakazam's already weak defense in half, nearly taking it out in a single shot. Alright, so next, let's send in Parasy. And if we hit with Leech Life, it should knock it out. Psybeam will probably do a fair amount of damage, but we do resist it due to our... Well, no, like, it's not resistant to bug typing here. But we're able to knock it out and win our 6th gym badge. I'm shocked, but a loss is a loss. I admit I didn't work hard enough to win. You earned the Marsh badge. Yay! The Marsh Bad makes Pokemon up to level 70 obey you. Stronger Pokemon will become wild, ignoring your orders in battle. Just don't raise your Pokemon too much. Wait, please take this TM with you. Phoenix received TM 46. It is Side Wave, a powerful psychic. It uses powerful psychic waves to inflict damage. Okay, Side Wave is very interesting, but overall, it's not that great. The reason why is Side Wave fluctuates in power. It may, and Isis is already the only one who can learn it, and we already have the superior psychic, so we're going to pass on that. So with Side Wave, let me quickly just make sure I explain it correctly. Okay, so Side Wave inflicts a random amount of HP damage varying between 50% to 150% of the user's level. In other words, level 100 will at a level 100, the damage will be 50 to 150 HP. It is a typeless move, so it doesn't even get a psychic boost. And it has an 80% accuracy. So let's go back up here. It was, I think, that one. Yep. And then down here. And we're out. So overall, it's not that great of a move. So I don't really recommend teaching it to anyone. But now with our new badge, we can head out to the next badge area, which will require us to surf. So we have two choices on how we can approach going towards the next gym town. Let me quickly run over to my PC. Come over here. First, I'm going to deposit that new TM. Then I'm going to withdraw. Where are you? The town map. Nope, don't need any rare candies right now. Okay, so let's go to our town map. So, our next gym town, let me get to it. Probably took the longer way to get to it. Is Cinnabar Island, and there's two routes we can go to it. First is south of Fuchsia City, taking Sea Route 19 through the Seafoam Islands to Sea Route 20 to get to Cinnabar Island. The other way is from Pallet Town, we surf south through Sea Route 21 to Cinnabar Island. So that is I think that's the way we're going to take. I usually take this way, but I want to save the Seafoam Islands for another episode. So I just want to skip over it for right now. So we'll hit 20 and 19 after dealing with Cinnabar Island. Alright, so let's make our way back home. But we're not going to walk all that way, even though it's not as bad as it used to be. We have ducks here, and we can fly straight to Pallet Town. Home sweet home. Let's drop in. Let's see Mom. We take a quick rest, heal back up, and we could drop by Professor Oak, but there's not really anything he has for us. So now, let's head to Cinnabar Island. So first, Gimbu, let's use Surf. And as we head south, we find a patch of grass. So in this patch of grass, we can find Tangela. Level 32. Let's see if I can get any luck here. Don't knock it out. It uses Bind. Let's toss an Ultra Ball. Just to add it to our decks for fun. Oh, come on. Okay, so this is Route 21. And Tangela is our only new encounter. Oh, come on. Oh. Yeah. I think we're technically able to encounter another Pokemon on here that we haven't actually battled in the wild, but I'll talk about it in a second. The other Pokemon you can encounter here in Red and Blue version are Rattata, Pidgey, Pidgeotto, and Raticate, so a lot of our familiar faces. Its whole body is swaddled with wide vines that are similar to seaweed. Its vines shake as it walks. No, we're not going to give a nickname to Tangela. Okay. In yellow, you can find Pidgey, Rattata, Pidgeotto, and Raticate, but all like significantly lower level than in Red and Blue. But that's really it for our new encounters. I always remember this patch of grass because of Tangela. Alright, so let's get surfing. And we're going to meet our other main encounter for this route, Tentacool. So we've seen Tentacool before, and they can range from level 5 to level 40. So, nothing too big here. We'll just keep sailing south. We can see there's some people on docks and all that. Oh, a level 5. That's the low roll. Okay. Luckily, there are no items on the water. There are a lot of trainers. I'm right now just avoiding them. I don't really feel like I need to fight them right now. I may later. Just peacefully sailing. Go around this guy. Get in a battle right behind him. With another Tentacool. Another level 15. Just keep sailing. And we're at Cinnabar Island. After so long, and here's the gym. And it's locked. We will have to do a side dungeon to be able to get the key to get inside. But as always, we're here. So let's check out the mart. Hi there. How can I help? First off, Ultra Balls. I don't need that many. I would love to buy that many, but I can't right now. I am going to buy a healthy amount of Ultra Balls for later. But now we have Great Balls. We can buy Hyper Potions, Max Repels, Escape Rope, Full Heal, and Revives. So a pretty good mart. We have our Pokemon Center. We can heal up from our few battles. And then, while we're also here, I need to stop by the PC. And we're going to drop off ducks. Oh, and we need to withdraw one thing. the Helix fossil. Because after so long picking it up in Mount Moon and later picking up our old Amber, I'll grab those later, we're finally able to revive our fossils. So for our fossils, we're going to come into this building. We study Pokemon exclusively here. People often bring us rare Pokemon for examination. Pokemon Lab, meeting room. So if we come in here. Hi, do you have a Venonat? I want to trade it for Tangela. So if you happen to have a Venonat, you can get a Tangela a lot easier than catching it. Hello there. Do you want to trade your Raichu for Electrode? We will come back to this trade in a bit because it's kind of interesting. Due to some text, we find very strange fossils in Mount Moon. I think it's a rare prehistoric Pokemon. Next, the Pokemon Lab R&D. Come in here. Eevee can evolve into one of 3 kinds of Pokemon. I made a cool TM. It can cause a lot of kinds of fun. TM35. I think this is what I'm thinking it is. And if it is, ooh. TM35 Metronome. Metronome is a very interesting move. Right now, Isis is the only one that can learn it. And you know what? Let's teach it. This is not a good move to teach. But I am anyways. We're going to get rid of Soft-Boiled. Metronome is every move. Technically. When you use Metronome, it basically rolls the dice, and depending on the outcome, that will be what move you use. So we can now use any move, be it physical or special or a status buffing. It's just for fun. Alright. I'm looking for a Ponyta. Want to trade one for a Seal? No, I don't have one. Hiya. I'm an important doctor. I study here rare Pokemon fossils. You have a fossil for me? Yes, I do. I actually have 2. First, let's do our Helix fossil. Ooh, that's a Helix fossil. That is the fossil of Ammonite, a Pokemon that is already extinct. My resurrection machine will make that Pokemon live again. Oh, yes. So, you hurry and give me that? Felix handed over the Helix fossil. I'll take a little time. You go for a walk for a little while. Okay. While we go for our walk, why don't we just for fun do that trade for the Raichu so we can talk about it. So first, let me come over to my PC. Okay, deposit. Gachapon, I'm going to deposit you for right now. And then we're going to withdraw. Oh, we're in box 3. I need to switch boxes. 2. Yes. I did not mean to do that. Let me. Yes. Box 2. Withdraw Raichu. Okay, so this trade is not the best for me because I already have my Electrode. Well, if we come over here, so trade a Raichu for Electrode, yes, Raichu. Okay, connect the cable like so. So, why this trade is actually very special is, as I mentioned, it's due to the text you get after the trade. So let's get this Electrode. Take good care of Electrode. Phoenix trade Raichu for Electrode. Thanks. Okay, so first, real quick, this Electrode, once again, same level as what you trade the Raichu, and his name is Doris. No Screech, Self-Destruct, Sonic Boom, and Light Screen. Okay. But if we talk to him, the Raichu you traded me went and evolved. So, the reason why he says this, in the Japanese version of Blue, which this is what the American version of Red and Blue are based off of. They took the Japanese version of it and gave it the exclusives of the Japanese Red and Japanese Green versions, and then just named them Red and Blue respectively. The trade here with this old man is he requests a Kadabra and trades you a Graveler. Both of them are trade evolution Pokemon. So, when you traded that Kadabra, it evolves into Alakazam. Well, when they were localizing it, they localized the text. So he was supposed to say, you know, in Japanese Blue, oh, that Kadabra you trade me went and evolved. So this is where the Raichu magically evolves, is because he believes it's a Kadabra. So it's just kind of a neat thing, and this led to some speculations that Raichu was going to evolve, and at one point Raichu did actually have an evolution, Gorochu. Now he has 2 Mega Evolutions. So we finally got Omnanite. So this was the fossil we picked up back in Mount Moon. Praise Lord Helix. As you see, he has his arms, well, little tentacles like his little arms. I kind of like Omnanite. Granted, I am a very big Kabuto fan and Kabutops. But Omnanite evolves at level 40 into Omnistar. Both rock, water types. And Kabuto is also a walk water type and evolves into Kabutops. Oh, before we leave, we need to do one last thing. We need to give him the Old Amber. Yes, we have one last fossil for you, the Old Amber. It will revive into Aerodactyl, a Pokemon that's already extinct. Resurrection Machine will make that Pokemon live again. Yes. So, as I said when we picked up the Old Amber, this is our last teammate. Technically, he was our 4th, but he's the last one to finally properly join. We had to come all this way just to revive him. So let's drop off Doris. And then let's change over to box 3. Oops, nope, don't want to do that. Drop off Allanite. And then withdraw Gachapon. And let's go pick up our final team member. I've been waiting for this for so long. So yes, you do have to kind of leave and come back. I think you have to leave the building for it to register. And of course, where were you? Your fossil is back to life. It was Aerodactyl, like I think. Phoenix got Aerodactyl. Do you want to give it a nickname? Yes. And Aerodactyl's nickname, want to make sure I spell this correct, is Terror with a silent P, like pterodactyl. Welcome to the team, Terror. So Terror's main 2 stats are speed and attack. That is what his name of the game is for him. He's a rock flying type. Now, the issue with Aerodactyl is its move pool is not that great. For one thing, it does not learn any rock moves in Generation 1. Because, you know, that makes sense. And it honestly barely learns any flying moves. It starts off with Wing Attack, which is like a glorified tackle. And then it learns Fly, which we're going to teach it. So it can be our flyer. It's also one of its best flying attacks. And the other one is a TM Sky Attack, which it's not that great. I mean, it's a high power move, 140. It takes 2 turns, but unfortunately with Aerodactyl, he's fairly frail. So he would not take hits well. So waiting those 2 turns would not do him much of a favor. So first, let's teach him Fly. So we can fly around on him. Alright. And now, do I have... Okay. Let's come to our PC, and I have a few moves I've been saving for him. Withdraw. Alright. TM39, I want that one. Oh, no. And then the other TM I wanted in here. Okay, I did not pass it. Is the one thing I wanted from the game corner. TM15. That was a lot of money I had to get and spend for it. But for that move, it is totally worth it. Okay, first, TM39, Swift. So this is a move that will not miss on Terror. 60 base power, not too bad. Like, he could learn Bite, or even Take Down, Double Edge and all that. We could really take advantage of it, but giving him a move that won't miss, I feel like is a very beneficial thing with him, with how fast he is. We're guaranteed basically a hit, sending him out. And the other move I want to teach him is Hyper Beam. Yes. Trying to learn Hyper Beam. What move should we make for with Hyper Beam? Let's get rid of Wing Attack. So Hyper Beam will be our primary use on Terror. Get him in there, hit as hard as a truck, and then need be swap him out. Whatever we need to do. And with that, we have made it to Cinnabar Island. We have gotten our last team member. So next time on Let's Play Pokemon Blue version, we take on the Pokemon Mansion. So we can find the key and take on the Cinnabar City Gym. So I will see you next time.